Doing? Thank you. First and foremost, it's a pleasure to talk to y'all. I was once in y'all's shoes. I was in middle school. I was playing sports. I had dreams. I had aspirations. And here I am. I'm an adult I'm almost 30. I'll be 30 this year. And it seems like just yesterday, I can vividly remember being in middle school, all right, being in high school and doing all of those things. So as I talk to y'all, I want y'all to know that it's an open dialogue. Y'all have room to ask me questions. Do not be shy, like Coach Quan said. Ask away, because you don't know what you're going to get out of this from myself and from the other speakers. There's going to be some things that you hear that's going to carry you along your life throughout your career. All right, there's some things in my life that I know I've heard from coaches, I heard from teachers that I still carry with me, the good and the bad. The bad things that I may have heard that motivate me and inspire me, and some of the good things that give me confidence in some of my harder situations in life, okay? So the first thing I want to talk to y'all about is the word purpose. By the show of hands, don't even need to tell me who understands what the word purpose means. All right, cool. All right. So the purpose for being at school, the purpose for doing everything you do in your life, it's obvious reasons. We need to be at school because we need to learn, and we have to take these skills that our teachers and the staff teaches us and the coaches teaches us into our adult life. All right. That's the purpose of being here. And you legally, like, you have to be at school. It's like you have to be here, all right? But that's one thing. That's the purpose of, it's the difference between having to be somewhere and wanting to be somewhere and wanting to be better, all right? So I want to talk about my purpose, all right? One of my main purposes in life that I believe and that I know is true is to talk to people and motivate them and inspire them to be the best version of themselves, all right? And I want y'all to know it's never too early. It's never too early to start finding out what your purpose is and chasing that purpose, all right? Like I said, my purpose is to speak. My purpose is to motivate. My purpose is to inspire, all right? I am a trainer. I'm a fitness trainer. I'm a strength and conditioning coach, right? So I help athletes run faster, jump higher, get stronger, right? But there's more to it than just the athletic performance side, all right? That's good, and that's a part of the purpose, but the main purpose is to get you to believe in yourself, to perform to the best of your abilities. We're at school, right? We have sports, and they go hand in hand in developing your character as a person, all right? So this is a very serious talk, because I told you, it doesn't matter what age you are. These are some of the things that you need to hear, all right? So when we talk about purpose, and we're talking about having a definite purpose and a reason for doing what you do, we have to understand how serious that is. And then we have to understand also, people say, hey, you're just a kid, just have fun and just live your life, right? But we want to be careful with that, because if you take that same mindset and approach to every room that you're in, you end up at 30. I have time, I can do this. That's not how it works in life, all right? So right now, we have students that are having good grades. We might have students that are struggling in the classroom. We might have students that are good athletes. And then we have students that are struggling in athletics. No matter where you are in that journey, this hoodie right here, this is my brand. This is the statement that I stand on with every athlete that I coach. Winners win, all right? And what that means is, within that purpose, within me showing up to do my job and to show up, I have to understand that it's not this social media or this reality that we try to choose to believe that success is just me showing up and I'm successful, me showing up and I'm rich. That's not how life works, all right? On the way to success, to this pinnacle, there's going to be downs, there's going to be lows, there's going to be highs. Do you understand that? And when you get into those hard parts, when you're not feeling as motivated, when you don't feel as inspired, when you don't feel like doing it, that's another thing. I have a job and I have an obligation. I was in school. One thing, I made straight A's. I did not want to go to school. I didn't want to do homework. I hated reading. But you know what? I say, you know what? I want to play college football. I want to go to a Division I school. And I heard way too many stories about athletes that were really good, but their grades were bad, so it just took their career and derailed it. I cared so much about my purpose and leadership in football that I took school very serious, although I didn't like it. I like my friends, I like the staff, I like the fun parts of school, But doing work, no. So I'm here to tell y'all, like, I'm not giving y'all a fantasy. Like, I understand where you are. It's not fun all the time, but that's discipline. Showing up for yourself, doing the things that you don't want to do every day, but you need to do them to get better. All right, these are the things that are going to carry on with you into your life when you get to high school, when you go to college. That discipline is something you can always rely on. All right, so within that winners win phrase, when I'm at my lowest points, when I don't feel so good, when I don't feel as confident in myself, I have to understand that this battle between myself is between me and the problem. All right, and I have to find a way mentally, emotionally to gather myself and find a way to win, okay? Because it's not about just losing or winning on the football field, but it's everyday life. You have to wake up and show up for yourself every day. You get that? So that's all I mean. Like, it's not going to be I step here and I'm successful. There's going to be a lot of learning curves in there. There's going to be a lot of times where, as an athlete, you just don't perform well sometimes. As an athlete, you find out, I'm not as good as I thought I was. At that point, okay, that's an issue. I have to face it, look in the mirror. Okay, if I play basketball, maybe I'm not good at shooting free throws and maybe my defense is weak, all right? I have to look in the mirror and ask myself, in this challenge, how do I win? How do I overcome this? How do I become the best version of myself right now, all right? That's what I want to highlight. I want to highlight the hard times, right? Because it's easy when your mom and your dad and your friends and you get new friends because you're doing good. That's the glory of it all. But what happens when you miss a shot, right? Or if you're playing soccer and you miss a goal or your defense isn't as good and you don't get those congratulations anymore? Does that mean you stop? Or just because something gets hard, does that mean you just stop and go try something else? Right? And it's very important because this social media world that we live in, that's the facade. That's what we are taught to think. That, hey, all right, that didn't work, I'll just go try something else. That didn't work, I'll just go try something else. But this formula to be successful, to reach your dreams and your goals, this formula right here, it's a lot of downs and it's a lot of ups. It's just as many downs and hard times as the good times, all right? So I want y'all to understand that what comes with the winner is I get the trophy, we win, but it's short-lived. It doesn't last that long. Because when you hosting that trophy and you got first place, you got everybody else that lost that's in this downfall. Like, how do I get up there? How do I get to the podium? How do I beat that person? So it's just like a never-ending journey, right? Just getting one win is not enough. Two is not enough sometimes, right? But when you have the battle with self and you learn that, hey, this is me versus the problem, I'm in this, I'm able to win, but I'm able to go get more wins when life is not going the way that I want it to go, when I don't feel as confident as I am. Women, if I don't feel as pretty as I feel. As a man, if you don't feel as strong as you feel, that's okay. That's human nature. None of us are going to wake up every day and just feel like the best version every day, right? We got to gather ourselves together. We got to find the best version of ourselves and show up in purpose with that version of ourselves. Are y'all following me so far? All right, so I have purpose. I'm stepping into my purpose. Whether I have 20% today or I have 10%, I'm giving it all right? When I do that over and over again, I learn how to win. I learn how to fight. I learn how to battle adversity. Then all of a sudden, winning seems like it's easy. Everybody on the outside looking in, you start to make it look easy, right? They didn't see you frown. They didn't see the times where you weren't as happy, but they saw you still find a way to win over and over. Then that's what happened. People start walking up to you. That's when people start to gravitate to you. Like, how are you so happy every day? How you find a way to get better every day? In the same way I'm talking to y'all, don't be afraid to help each other out and be kind to one another and love one another and give each other advice, right? And constructive criticism. You have coaches, you have teachers, I know you heard it every time. And sometimes you feel like, man, like, y'all getting on me for everything I'm doing wrong. If you're gonna be successful, you gotta take the good things, note them down. Because they're good, you continue to work on those things. But the things you're not so good at, those are the things you really need to dial in and focus on because it's gonna take you to that next level, all right? So in the beginning, I asked y'all, did y'all understand what purpose was? So by the show of hands, who in here understands their purpose? Put them out if you do. Don't be afraid. All right, that's good, all right? And so I'm assuming the rest of you guys don't understand what your purpose is or understand where you need to go and what direction you need. So I'm gonna give you some advice in that area. So you think about yourself. First, you think about your passions. All right, think about the stuff that you get emotional about and you really care about. All right, whether it's a hobby, whether it's like video games, whatever it is, whether it's a sport, think about the things that make you feel good that you do. Because 9 times out of 10, your purpose has something to do with that. All right, we're all blessed with some type of talent or some type of skill or something that we're great at, and we're young, right? So sometimes you may not have come into that skill or that gift, right? But start to think about the things that make you happy and spend more time doing those things. Because you're gonna learn that you can cultivate your gift and you're gonna find purpose in it, right? And a lot of things, purpose has a lot to do with helping others, right? Most of the time it's a selfless act, right? So your coaches, your teachers, your parents, they're all doing something to help your life and improve your life. So at some point, you're gonna have to do that for someone else, whether it's a classmate, whether it's a teammate, and when you get grown and you're adults, whether it's the kids that you're coaching or whatever you're doing in your life, okay? So don't be afraid. There's adults that like try to fully understand what their purpose is and what they're supposed to be doing, okay? So that's okay, but I want to challenge y'all today when y'all leave this conversation and y'all leave everybody that's filling in with y'all, everybody here has golden nuggets. They have things that are going to carry with you for the rest of your life. So I want you to take all the information and think about the things that really touched you today. And I want you to like write those things down and pursue those things and finding your purpose. You got me? And I have one last question. So we talked about the understanding of purpose, and we talked about do you understand what your purpose may be in this lifetime right now? All right. The last thing is the success. All right. How many people want to be successful? See, there we go. Boom. Everybody. How many of y'all know what it takes to be successful? All right. Now, this is what I need y'all. One at a time. Just somebody give me something. What do you think it takes? One word. Dedication. I love that word. That was one of my words. All right, up top, what you got? Say that again. I can't hear you, I'm sorry. Good grades, all right. Dedication, good grades, one more. Confidence, oh, okay. That's a good one. All right, one more, I got you. Kindness, all right. There we go, good grades. What you got? Motivation, there we go, I like motivation. All right, responsibility. All right, let's take some of those key components. Those are some good words, right? So, collectively right now, y'all have a good understanding of what it's going to take to be successful in your life. Everybody raises their hand. And one of the biggest angles was kindness. Kindness has a lot to do with your personality and who you are as a person. So your success directly is going to go with how good of a person you are. If you're a good person, you're going to probably find success a lot easier than someone who's not a good person. So being kind to your classmate, being kind to your teammate and helping your teammate, that's going to go a long way in your success, all right? Because the more kind you are, the more open and loving you are, the more approachable you are to opportunities. If you're not a good person, it's going to be hard for people to walk up to you with opportunity. And you're like, why are things not going my way? So we want to always work on being a better person, all right? That starts from within. Then I heard confidence. I'm big on confidence. That's one of my main things. So when I decided I wanted to play football, I think my biggest skill wasn't like my speed or anything else. It was the fact that I was so confident. So even if I wasn't better than a guy, I just didn't believe that that guy could tackle me, right? And I would try to prove it to myself and him. So confidence has a great deal to do with being successful. So in the beginning, we talked about your passions, right? We talked about the things that you love to do. Find confidence in those things, all right? If you're good at doing hair, do more hair, you find confidence. That's where your confidence lies, all right? If you're good at makeup, women, do that. Find things to do outside of sports as well, because as athletes, we have an identity. But when we leave practice, when we leave games, we're not playing anymore, all right? We take the basketball shoes off, we take the uniform off. You got to have another identity outside your sports. The sports is like the uniform comes on, right? That's who I am, all right? When the uniform comes off, you're still a person. Sports come and go, injuries happen, all right? What happens if you can't participate in your sport? You sit on the bench, right? And we all athletes, we all been there. You don't like it, it sucks, right? But at the end of the day, you can't lose who you are. So we talked about kindness and being a better person. That's very important in those moments. Injuries, that's a perfect example of when you're not feeling the best and you can't get out there and support your team and you can't make the passes, you can't make the goals. It's hard to just sit there and watch. You want to be involved, right? So you get tested, your character gets tested, all right? Dedication. That's the last thing I want to talk about. Dedication. You have to be dedicated to yourself, to making yourself better, number one. You have to be dedicated to your craft, right? So with dedication comes commitment. If I want to commit to being a better version of myself, I have to dedicate time to it. I can't just half do it here or half do it there and expect a good result. I'm not dedicated enough. My dedication isn't there, right? So if anyone in this room is lacking in their athletic performance, ask yourself, how dedicated are you? If you're not that good at shooting, how dedicated are you to practicing extra shots after practice? Okay? So dedication is going to be very important to your success. All right? So I want y'all to remember this conversation, remember these words. And I just want to say thank you for letting me speak. And I just have one last question for all of y'all. All right. By the show of hands, how many of y'all believe that y'all are winners? All right. If you didn't raise your hand, you are a winner, okay? But your homework is to identify what makes you a winner, all right? Every one of us has the ability to win deep within, but I want y'all to think about that. That's your homework. What makes me a winner, all right? When you figure that question out, when you answer that question, you're going to find more confidence in that answer, all right? So it was a pleasure, all right? I played football since I was 8. Went to DeSoto High School. From DeSoto High School, went to East Central University with Coach Quan, and we played football together. And he's really good at football, FYI, like phenomenal. And I tried out for the NFL. Boom, I was working out for NFL teams, Cleveland Browns, Vikings, Cowboys, and then COVID happened. I had no control over that. So all of a sudden I didn't have any workout schedule with teams. So what do? Do I just say, oh, my life is over because football didn't pan out? No, man. I still thought about winning. I still wanted to find a way to win. And here I am motivating y'all, all right? So you give everything your all, dedicate to it, and give the most amount of effort that you can possibly give and focus on becoming better people. And I guarantee you everybody in this room is going to find success at some point of their lives, all right? That's all I got. Winners win.